Okay, so our next speaker is Doody, who is Smart Cities lead with the engineering and consultancy company Arup.
Good morning. Thank you very much for inviting me. As David mentioned, I work for Arup, and we're a design engineering consultancy based all over the world. I'm actually in the London office, and I lead the Smart Cities consulting work based out of our IT consulting group. I think this is a fantastic event and a fantastic initiative. I'll talk more about that. But I'm particularly pleased to be here because as a native Dubliner, it's fantastic to get a chance to speak about my special subject in my hometown, which is not something I normally get to do. So I'm very pleased to be here. So what I was going to do is just talk to you a bit about what's the point of smart cities? What is it? Talk through from our work a sort of series of a framework or a series of outcomes that we feel that smart city initiatives should have, and then I'm going to offer you my idea for your consideration. So first of all, smart cities. What is it? What's the point of it? It can mean all sorts of different things, but fundamentally we feel that there should be five. They tend to fall into five outcomes, and those are environmental, functional, economic, social or humane, and political. So the first one is really, I'll start with environmental because we're talking about sustainable cities here. And really, that's about efficiency, it's about behavioural change. So it's things like journey planners, helping people to make better decisions about their transport choices. It's about maybe smart metering where people have better information about the amount of information the amount of energy they're consuming helps to balance the grid better, those kinds of things. Smart parking, where people have better information about parking space availability. It's estimated that up to 20 or 30% of all traffic is caused by people circling looking for car spaces. So there's a lot of sort of technology-based initiatives in cities are around, give you environmental outcomes, but also functional outcomes. So they're about operating the city better. They're about making the city work better. And actually, in that sense, the smart city is already here because we already depend on technology to run our cities right now. I mean, we're looking at a project, looking at something for Transport for London, and we estimated that just on 4 technology projects in the last 8 years, they'd already spent £1 billion, and that's just 4 of their projects. So we already, I'm sure if you looked in Dublin, you'd see, you're already spending millions and millions of pounds on technology to actually run the city. But that's not all. I mean, economic outcomes are very important. I was in Barcelona a couple of weeks ago, and Barcelona has branded itself a leading smart city, and it has done an awful lot in that area. And the reason for that is to attract foreign direct investment and to attract skilled workers. So for them, it's all about being a leader, staking that claim, and then using that as a lever to attract investment from companies and also to attract skilled workers. There can only be so many leaders, but I think there is still space globally for leading cities to emerge in the smart city space. The other economic outcome, apart from kind of greater productivity arising out of efficiency, is the whole big data discussion. So the idea that you can use data as data is a raw material for products and services. So for new apps, but more than apps, for new types of services. And I think that a lot of the technology that we put in cities is already generating lots of data, and I know Dublin is doing a lot already in open data with Dublink and so on. So that sort of economic outcomes are important. But fundamentally, and I think as Martin mentioned, this is about citizens really. So the social outcomes of how do all this stuff has to be benefiting citizens, and it has to be making for more livable cities, for cities that citizens can enjoy, and also for cities that respect citizens' rights, that respect citizens' privacy, that don't disadvantage certain groups. And I think that's where the politics comes in. So all of this stuff exists in a political context. It all has also political consequences. And so what some of the technologies that are being implemented and will be implemented in the next few years are highly disruptive technologies, and there will be winners and there will be losers. And it's for our politicians and our citizens to make sure that that happens in a fair way. So I think the need for leadership around this is extremely important, and the need for leadership around smart initiatives and the sustainable city to make that happen is something that we see in our work is extremely urgent and important. So that's the kind of, so when you're maybe thinking about your own ideas, maybe keep those 5 things in mind, to help you perhaps as a prompt. So I'm going to offer my idea, and I consulted with some of my colleagues on this. And what we're seeing a lot is that a lot of the smart technology initiatives are being concentrated in transport, and there's a very good reason for that. We did a study where we calculated that the market for smart technologies over the next to 2020 is $408 billion, and of that, transport is $100 billion. So there is a lot going on in transport, because it's something that really affects citizens' day-to-day lives. It affects the economy of the city. It affects the productivity of the city. So I would suggest an integrated ticketing between the Dublin and Belfast corridor. So imagine you have one card, and it allows you to use the Dart, the Lewis. You get the Lewis to the train station. Same card gets you on the train. Same card when you get off in Belfast allows you to hire a bike. Same card allows you to get the bus, whatever. So you've got one integrated ticket for the whole corridor. And I think the impact of that has many impacts. One is psychological, that it links those to the 2 cities and the cities along the way in a very real way. It also allows you then to perhaps use the data, to open up the data for other purposes, to use that open data. And it also allows you to claim leadership in this area, because this is something that cities all over the world are grappling with. All over the world, we're seeing cities are grappling with the problems of transport, the problems of congestion, and problems of how do they integrate all these different modes and get people moving from cars onto public transport. There's already, I know, collaboration going on the roads between the 2 authorities. And I think that, there's already, in fact, we're already seeing other countries. Scotland has just announced a smart mobility challenge as well. So there's competition in this space, but I think it's something that could be done very well here. So I just want to offer you that, and I wish you luck in your own deliberations. Thank you.